What's up, y'all? What's good? Welcome back to After Dark High Times. Look, y'all know usually I always start these videos off with like a cocktail of some kind, but today we're just going straight to the point. So I got some Fireball here, some Fireball whiskey. Cheers to you all. So I'd said, it was like, I guess it'd have been like a week or so ago that I was going to do a Q&A and that you guys could ask me any type of questions and we was going to talk about whatever. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. Before we get started though, I do want to say a big thank you to everyone that sent up prayers to me and my family while I was going through stuff with my grandfather last week. That's why I didn't post last week, but I made sure that I got a video out for you guys today. Next week will be the first installment of some DIY stuff. So look forward to that. And let's jump into this video.
I like you better when you're high, 'cause when you're high you never make me cry. I like you better when you smoke, 'cause when you smoke you laugh at all my jokes.
Alright, let's do it. So like I said, I posted on the community post, telling y'all to ask me whatever y'all wanted to, questions about whatever, and I was going to open them as honestly as I possibly could. So I'm just going to start from the top and I'm going to work my way down. We got 20 questions, so some of them I might elaborate on and some of them I might move kind of quickly on, just so that I can make sure I get them all in. Let's go. The first one, your worst sexual experience. So my worst sexual experience, like typically most people, it's like their first experience. That wasn't really the case with me. This was with someone that was grown and should have known what the hell they was doing. And the dude was like, come over, let's chill, whatever. So I was like, okay. So I get over there. And we start messing around and whatnot, and everything seems fine. And then when it comes down time for me to do what I do, put that tongue to work, I said, wait a minute. So were we back here making brownie batter? Oh, you got me fucked up. No, ma'am, that baby wasn't clean. So I was like, let's go. And that was my worst sexual encounter. It didn't even happen. How dare you ask me to come over to your house so that we can do something and then you ain't even clean? Boy, bye. So, children, not literal children, but you know what I mean. Make sure your ass is clean. That goes for man and female, okay? Make sure you clean when you inviting somebody over to your house to do something. Next question. Have you ever had beef with anybody in the mukbang community? This person had multiple questions. Have you ever had sex with a woman? Have you ever tried to be a bottom, and why don't you like to? Describe your worst sexual experience you ever had. I did that. So let's start with the first one. Have you ever had beef with anybody in the mukbang community? So for those of you who don't know or who have only come here without knowing anything about me, I also have a YouTube channel called Simply Food by TY where I do mukbangs, I do recipe videos, I do all kinds of shit over there. So to answer that question, I don't have any beef with anyone because at the end of the day, I don't really know none of these people like that. There are people that I'm starting to get to know, but until I've actually hung out with these people multiple times, I'm never about to invest myself that much in anyone because why would I do that? Like I'm not fitting to be beefing and arguing with people on YouTube, especially not with no mukbanger. Like, are you kidding me? Have I had issues with some of them? Absolutely. And it's not even with some of them. It's one particular person whose name I won't be mentioning because they won't get any airtime on none of my channels. But even with that, I was like, okay, bye, next. Like I lose no sleep. So, yeah. The next question, have you ever had sex with a woman? I have. The first time I had sex with a woman, it was in a threesome, and it was quite possibly the most awkward and worst experience of my life. I'm dramatic, but it was kind of strange because it was myself, another dude, and a woman, but the other dude was straight. So you got a straight dude, a gay man, and a straight woman. And I'm confused because my focus, of course, is going clearly to the dude. his focus is clearly only on the woman. And I'm trying to figure out, so what exactly are we doing here? Because aren't we all supposed to be doing stuff? But he was like, no, don't touch me. I'm like, well, what the hell am I here for then? So I was like, fucking forget it. Waste of my time. Anywho. Have you ever tried to be a bottom, and why don't you like to? It's not that I don't like to, and it's not that I still don't do it. I just prefer not to. It's just a comfort thing with me. I feel like that requires you to be extremely vulnerable. And for me to be that vulnerable, to let someone do that to me, we got to be in a relationship. We got to be damn near married. I got to know you for years. You will never hear of me ever just randomly hooking up with someone and I'm the bottom. It'll never happen. That's just not the way it works. You got to be some like 6'10" ginger lumberjack that I know got billions and trillions of dollars if I'm gonna let you do some shit like that. It's just not for me. But hey, where would the world be without bottoms? You know what I mean? Next question. Let's see. When you first knew... Oh, I see. When did you... I'm just going to read it the way it is. When you first knew that you liked men, and how did you tell your parents? I always knew that I was gay. I was never in denial about it. I never tried to hide it. And I'm going to elaborate more on this on another video, but I'll quickly speak on it now. At the end of the day, I feel like it's no one's business, because I'm not walking around in the street asking every straight person who the hell they sleeping with. Nor do I give a shit, nor do I condemn them for wanting to be straight. You do what the hell you want to do. So I never really understood the fascination with wanting to know what gay people are doing, or if a person is gay. I don't know. I just always thought it was strange. So my rule of thumb when it came to it was, if you asked me, I would tell you, but I wasn't fitting to go out of my way and tell you. My mother, I'm almost certain we had a talk. Yeah, we did talk about it. It was kind of random and passing by. Me and my mom really don't have the closest relationship, so I never really felt the need that I needed to tell her anything. Not that I really ever felt the need to tell anyone. But when we did talk about it, she asked me, so I told her, and then we moved on. Like, that was it. Like, she knows I'm not irresponsible. She knows I'm not out here just dipping and diving and dicking down people left and right with no condoms. Like, I'm not that type of person. I'm not stupid, okay? Ain't no sex on this planet worth you not using protection unless your ass is married, okay? So it was what it was. My dad, on the other hand, you know, he was like, well, I ain't raised the F word that I won't be saying on this channel in regards to gay men, and I don't support it, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, frankly, my dad, I don't give a damn, because at the end of the day, my father didn't raise me. So I didn't know exactly what it was he wanted me to do in regards to that. So I kind of was just like, okay, well, you know, it ain't gonna change, and so let's just move on. So yeah. Okay. Why are men afraid to show their feminine side or soft side? This is the thing. When it comes to that, it really is just a part of what's been engraved in men since the beginning of time. Men have always been portrayed to be the people who are supposed to be the provider. They're supposed to be the strong one. They're supposed to be the one to bring in the money. They're supposed to be the one to go out and kill the animal, bring it in and gut it and clean it while the wife cooks it. You know, they're supposed to be the protector of the family and everything. And it's like, because that is so engraved deep down into the roots of this very planet, sadly, that's never going to change. The only thing that I feel like has changed is that more men who feared coming out as gay men are now, who lived their entire lives as straight men, are coming out as gay at the ages of like 40 and 50 and 60, because now they realize it's like life is too short for you to be trying to hide behind like closed doors and some shit like that. It's just like live your life, like, because at the end of the day, when you die, that's it. You ain't got no more time. So are you trying to be on this planet for the limited time that we got, trying to live for somebody else, or you gonna live for yourself? Because that's the real question. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate that men are afraid to show their feminine side or soft side because it makes them feel like they're not as masculine. And I don't know, I think it's fucking stupid. Next question. Have you ever had your butthole licked and sucked on? Yes, but it's not my thing. I'm not into it. What does it mean when a guy always come fast, like less than a minute every time, and his eyes get to roll in the back of his... I mean, I don't know if this is a kid asking this question. I don't know. First of all, you need to be 18 and over if you on this channel. First of all, and 21 and over if you drink it. But I mean, that's a common sense answer. It's the same thing for like a woman. If a woman is reaching her orgasm, she ain't gonna be there just... Oh yes, that feels good. Thank you. Yes, that feels lovely. It's gonna be like an out-of-body experience. So I'm sure that's what the dude is going through. If the guy is coming quickly, number one, either you are very good at what you're doing, or number two, he was too excited. Sometimes it just happens that way. I mean, you know, that's just the way it works. Have you ever dressed up in sexy lingerie makeup with wigs and heels? Absolutely not. No. Unless I'm in a show, or like if it's like for Halloween, or you know, like something like that. I'm not. Contrary to the way you might see me acting and whatnot, I'm not as feminine as it may appear to people. So no, that wouldn't be something that I would be into. Is it okay to be in love with a woman and a man? This is the thing. If you're being honest with both of them, especially if it's simultaneously at the same time, then I say live your life. It's not up to me to tell you who you can love or who you can't love, but it is your responsibility to make sure, however, that you are being honest with those people, especially if it's happening at the same damn time, because that ain't fair to either one of them, and it's not fair to you to put yourself through that. How important is oral sex in a relationship? It's very damn important. Let's just, before I even read any more of this question, it's very important, because the way I see it is, whether you eating ass or sucking dick or eating cooch, look, you can't be just going in and just jamming your thing right into somebody. It don't work that way. You gotta warm that shit up. You know what I mean? You can't be just like, oh, we gonna do it tonight. Boom, done. No, like warm it up. Preheat the oven a little bit, you know what I mean? If your partner doesn't like to kiss, is that a deal breaker? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say yes. To me, that's a deal breaker, because first of all, I need to know that you are a good kisser. Because if you're a good kisser up here, you're a good kisser down there. You know what I mean? Secondly, if they don't like to kiss, then I don't really understand that, because to me, kissing, I'm not gonna lie, kissing to me can be way more affectionate than the actual act of intercourse itself. Like a really good passionate kiss sometimes can be better than any amount of sex that you've ever had in your life. If you've never experienced it, I'm sorry for you, but if you have experienced it, you know exactly what I mean. So that is very important. How do you get the spark back into an 8-year lesbian relationship? This is the thing. I think if you feel like the spark is leaving away, or if you feel like, you know, it's not popping the way it used to be, it always starts with a conversation. And if you fear that conversation could start drama, then that's a bigger issue. You should never be fearful to say, hey, let's like try some like new shit. Let's talk about like what we need to do in order to like keep the spark alive in our relationship. If you fear asking that person that question, or if you think they're gonna come back with some stupid answer and disregard your question, that ain't the person for you. I'm sorry, because the other person should be willing to be open to hear what it is you gotta say. Okay. I'm just ready because can't nobody be real like you, TY. Thank you. Went to the liquor store. Oh, I see. That was just a comment. Do you have a boyfriend, and why if you don't? I do not have a boyfriend, and why? I just like to be single. The way I see it is, until I can fully take care of every aspect of my life in my sleep without even trying, I don't want anyone else coming into my life, because I need to know that if someone else enters into my life and let's say they don't have all their shit together, I need to know that my stuff is together first, so that I can be of help to that other person should something happen. If both of us are still trying to figure out life and all that type of stuff, to me that just don't work. I know there are people that like to figure out life together. I don't. I want to have all of my shit already in place. And I also just enjoy not really having to answer to anybody. That's the truth. Was that guy on the cruise your boyfriend? No, that was not my boyfriend. That's my best friend, Sean. What would you consider to be your signature dish or recipe? Did you create it yourself? And if not, where did you get it from? I don't really know if I have a signature dish, because there's certain people that always ask me for like certain things. But the one thing that I will say that I always make, that everyone is always obsessed with, that people always want me to make, is my seafood salad. And yes, I came up with that on my own. I've been making it for years, and probably when we get closer to like the springtime, I probably will make a recipe video on it, but that'll be on my Simply Food by TY page. That won't be on here. Why would a man hold back on coming? Certain dudes know what they need to do to last longer. It's you know, we're not just in there pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping, and then we just like we know, first of all, in order for it to be better for us, also for us to last longer, we know how to pull back. Because the longer you train yourself from pulling back, when it actually happens, it'll be 10 times better. So that's 9 times out of 10, that's probably why he's doing it. Not a question, but I love you. I love you back, Lollipop. So are you in a relationship? No, I've already answered that. And if so, do you give him head or do he give you? If I was in a relationship, the answer would be yes to both. I would be doing, it'd be vice versa. Do you think there's a way to tell if someone is a top or a bottom? If so, what are the ways? What do you prefer? I love your videos. Keep them coming. No, there's not a way of telling. Back in the day, I used to feel like maybe there was a way, but even then, that was just people literally passing judgment on people because of the way they act. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. Don't be fooled by these dudes out here who look like they are bodybuilders, look like they could break your jaw in half, look like they are thugs, look like they are killers, look like they are psychopaths, look like they are the hardest dude on the planet, look like, you know, they came from war. Because some of those dudes are the very dudes when they get in the bedroom, they act like straight up ladies, okay? And it's vice versa. There are some very feminine acting men out here in the world that are serious tops that don't want nobody putting nothing up in them at all. So no, you can't really tell. What do I prefer? I prefer to be a top, but I think it's best if you are verse. Advice for single mothers back on the dating scene. You know, just the best thing to do is just remain open-minded and try out a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, don't limit yourself. The things that you thought that you might not have enjoyed, or the things you thought that maybe you weren't that into, try it. You know what I mean? Stuff that you said that you would never do, try it. Because you never know, you know, what could come of that. There could be someone that could come along in your life that might completely alter your entire perspective on what a good and healthy relationship might look like to you. Excuse my damn phone. First of all, let me turn this on silent because it's gonna be doing too much. Have you ever been with a female at all? I have answered that question. And what's your favorite position? My favorite position is if I am laying down and the dude is on top of me facing toward me, but I'm sitting up. So if this is my body, if this is my body, and this is my head, these are my legs. I like him like this, and we're both up like that. It's the best. Let's see. No shade, just a question I've always wanted to know. Why is it that gay men are so flamboyant, voice change, even the way you walk? That's just a matter of the area that they live in, the culture that they surround themselves in. I mean, you know, it's no different than literally any human on the planet. That's the thing that people have got to understand. People have got to stop getting so caught up in, oh, you know, why is this type of person flamboyant? Why is this type of person more masculine? Why is this person's voice high? Why is this person's voice low? Who gives a just let people live their damn life and let them be who the hell they are. There are the most beautiful women on the planet that have mad raspy, absolutely low voices, and you be like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. There are some dudes who are big and bulky and, you know, look all butch and stuff, and then they also have really, really high voices. I have no idea why people get so fascinated by the little weird things in the gay culture, which most of the time end up being stereotypes. Not every single dude has a high voice, because let me tell you, I know plenty of gay men who have voices deep as hell, okay? It's just, I mean, certain things that people are pointing out are things that have nothing actually to do with their sexual orientation. It's just who they are as a person. It's just how they were born. They were either born with a naturally high voice or a naturally low voice. Now, of course, I mean, if I want to, I can do all of this, but that is not the way I normally talk. You know what I mean? Like, I don't normally talk all the way up there, but people, that's the thing. It's a matter of who you're with, who you surround yourself with, the culture and the atmosphere. It's like everybody has ways of changing themselves up depending upon what it is they're doing at the moment. So, but look, so that was all 20 questions on After Dark High Time. Let me check this other one because I did tell people I gave one last warning. So let me just check on my other YouTube channel. You know, let me make sure ain't nobody else leave any other questions right quick. But look, down in the comment section, tell me what your guys' favorite scents are, because I'm going to be doing a DIY on body massage oils. This version, I may or may not do it with CBD. I don't know yet. So definitely stay tuned. Because that's definitely going to be good as we get closer into these warm months. I mean, these colder months, I'm sorry. You might want to be rubbing somebody down. You know what I mean? Okay, so we got 5 questions on my Simply Food by TY page. I'm going to answer these and then that's it. All right, here we go. When friends/associates ask for money, when do you say no? This is the thing. I am a Cancer, and I am a person that is always out here trying to do the most for everybody else. I will literally leave negative $10 in my account because I'm out here trying to help everybody else in the world. But at the end of the day, and this on some real shit, if you are going out of your way to constantly help the same person over and over and over and over and over again, and if you don't see them attempting, and this is real, if you don't see them at least making the attempt to make a change, if you don't see them at least taking the steps necessary to try to fix whatever it is they got going on that's caused them to end up in the same situation over and over again, stop. Just stop helping that person. Because at the end of the day, ain't nothing gonna ever change with them. You know what I mean? It's like, you gotta be the one to be like, it's on you. I'm sorry. I can't help you. Because they always are going to know that someone's going to be there to like help them through every single damn problem that they're having, and that's not fair to you. And for real, it's not fair to them because they're never going to realize that they need to make a change until they are actually forced to do so. So that's my answer for that. Thoughts on dating or hooking up with coworkers? I absolutely don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. Hold on, let me take a sip. I'm gonna tell you why. Now, this is only me basing this off of my experience in the theater community as an actor. For most of y'all who don't know, on After Dark High Times, I'm a professional singer-actor. That's what I do full-time, although this year I took the entire year off so that I could get my YouTube channel going. But anyway, I digress. One of the things that I hate the most is seeing when people get in a cast, which is a show, and the contract for the show, let's say, is 4 months total. Within that 4 months, instead of you taking the time to actually get to know the person, see what the hell their life is, because the way I see it is, you don't get to know somebody well enough within 4 months. That's just my personal opinion. I know there are people out here in the world who are getting engaged within 6 months. Good for you. In my opinion, ain't no way in the hell I'm gonna get to know you well enough within 4 months where we already fucking, we already claiming each other and all that type of stuff. No. Because that first month and a half, 2 months, I just need to get to know you as a friend. That last 2 months, then we're starting to introduce in all the other stuff. That's 4 months right there. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you jumping into stuff with people as soon as you meet them, you've already ruined your chance of potentially being just friends, because once you cross that line, you can't ever go back. That's the thing that people don't seem to understand. It's like, I know you be pressed to like hook up with somebody because you think they fine, or you think they funny, or you think y'all hitting it off, or y'all cute, or whatever. But at the end of the day, what the hell you gonna do if that shit don't work out? What you gonna do if you'd have hooked up with that person and then all of a sudden they'd have found somebody else they want to hook up with? Because at the end of the day, everybody always try to make it seem like, oh, my feelings ain't involved, That's some bullshit. Yes, they are. There's always one person whose feelings are always involved, and then at the end of the day, somebody's feelings always get hurt, and then somebody be mad at the other person, and then now you've completely ruined a friendship that didn't even have a chance to begin with, because all you were worried about was trying to hook up with the person. You know what I mean? Now, this might sound like I'm really passionate because it's happened to me. It's not happened to me, because I'm not hooking up with no cast members. I'm not hooking up with no co-workers. I don't got time. There's enough dick and ass out here in the world that I don't need to hook up with anybody who I work with, who I'm going to be forced to see every single day. It's just my opinion. If I were you, I wouldn't do it. I'm super self-conscious, and it's way worse when it comes to the bedroom. My fiance doesn't care how I look. He tells me I'm beautiful how I am. And I haven't been intimate for about 5 to 6 months just because I don't have that urge or want to do anything that relates to that. Any advice how to get back in the swing of things pertaining to sex? Busy life, kids, a full-time job, just tired all the time. This is the thing. I can't speak on behalf of, and I'm not even about to just put this on moms, because it's not just on moms. I can't speak on behalf of people who have children, because I understand how that can be a full-time job in itself. I get it. And if you got a job, you got to come home, you got to cook for the kids, you got to cook for your man, your wife, you know what I mean? If you a single parent, you got to do all that shit by yourself. I get it. But at the end of the day, I think it is so important for people to remember that they were individuals before they got married. And at the time of you getting married, you then become a couple. Then comes the children. Children are always first priorities in parents' minds. I get it. But people have to remember that it's also extremely important to keep the love and the sex and the honesty and the open discussions and all that shit fully alive and in full motion with the person you are married with. Because when that starts to break down and when that shit starts to fall apart, it then starts to reflect in how you are raising your children. It then starts to reflect in how your children view you and the other person as parents. It's important to make sure you are taking time. I don't give a shit if it's only 15 minutes a day. Take 15 minutes. Sit down with your partner. It ain't even got to be y'all screwing. Y'all ain't even got to do that. Just sit down. Hold him. Hold her. Rub the back of their neck. Give him a kiss. Give him a 10-minute massage. Anything is better than nothing. The excuse of I'm too tired just cannot work. I'm telling you, because that might be your truth and you might be too tired, but this is the thing. you being too tired is only going to be okay for that other person, but so long. Because what's going to happen is that other person going to step out and they're going to find that shit somewhere else. And you have to ask yourself, what's more important? So that's what I would say. I would say, just schedule that shit in if you need to schedule it in. Kids, y'all ate y'all dinner? Okay, great. Y'all go sit your asses down and go watch a movie. Me and your daddy got something we got to talk about. You know what I mean? I have no idea where my camera just stopped. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in to After Dark High Times. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have some drinks with me while I answer these questions. Like I told y'all, your boy over here is gonna keep it 1,000. So the next time I do a Q&A, don't be afraid. You can ask me whatever you want, because as you see, I'm gonna answer that shit. I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Pass these videos along to whomever you want to view them with me. I don't know what I just said. I'm drunk. But it is what it is. Look, I love y'all. Y'all babies. Ugh, I just almost said my outro for Simply Food by TY. I did. Anyway, let me get the hell out of here. Y'all stay high. Let's get to the sky. Peace.
I like you better when you're high, 'cause when you're high you never make me cry. I like you better when you smoke, 'cause when you smoke you laugh at all my jokes.